Hello everyone. So yesterday I was able to see a screening of 65. This is a new movie directed by Scott Beck, Brian Woods, and it stars Adam Driver. It is rated PG-13, comes in at just a little over 90 minutes long. And yeah, when seeing the trailers of this, I was a little nervous going into this film. I thought there's a lot of things that just didn't look too great about the premise of this movie, but yes, watched it. So without further ado, let me get into my review for 65. So the description given for this movie is pretty bare bones. It's an astronaut, played by Adam Driver, crash lands on a mysterious planet only to discover he's not alone. Really what this movie is Adam Driver plays, well, from way in the future. There is a lot of space colonization going on, lots of hyperspace travel. Basically, he is a pilot that brings people in cryosleep from one planet to another. Things go horribly wrong on one of his missions where he crashes into an asteroid belt and crash lands on Earth 65 million years ago. So dinosaurs are roaming all around the land, all around the place, and he is basically left stranded with only one surviving passenger, who is a little girl who speaks a language that he doesn't. So there is not a lot of dialogue within this film, because they can't talk to each other. They can't they can't understand each other too well. So they kind of make up symbols and languages that they can more or less understand with one another, but nothing really out of the box that you haven't seen before in a lot. And again, so they're trying to get to the top of a mountain where one of their escape pods has landed, so they can use it to get back into space and hopefully and find their way back home. So this movie definitely takes these survival elements of, again, to just a survival movie is what it tries to make it within its 90-minute runtime. And I found a lot of the time, there's not really a lot that you haven't seen in any other survival movie, and it's pretty bare bones. I think the most really action-packed, intense scene is they have a dinosaur coming at them, and his arms have been popped out of place, so he has to smack it back in and shoot the dinosaur immediately with his very high-tech gun. And I found a lot of this movie really just felt like an excuse to shoot dinosaurs with high-tech weaponry a lot of the times. And there isn't really much of a story, there isn't really much of a survival aspect of the film that I found to be really intriguing a lot of ways. Adam Driver tries his best to carry the story, but again, too, there's just not a lot of dialogue written for him, and the dialogue that is written isn't really the greatest in the world. So it's really tough to have any sort of emotional connection to this movie. And yeah, it just feels really dry, boring, and bland for a lot of it, where it really felt like this movie should have been more of a short film, or of an anthology series, rather than a full-length 90-minute long movie, because there just isn't really a lot of story to tell, nor really is there a lot for them to really justify spending the amount of time that they're spending things on. When it comes down to the CGI, it's not bad. You've definitely seen better and you've definitely seen worse, and it's not bad by any stretch. But again, so it's nothing special in terms of the dinosaurs, and there isn't really a lot of dinosaur moments that they show in this. A lot of the times it's just them surviving more of the elements, or getting lost and finding their way back. The dinosaur scenes are very quick, and I found a lot of the time too a little bit of a disrespect to the dinosaurs, because it's just, again, too, he's basically just there to shoot them with high-tech weaponry. But again, too, this movie felt way too minimal for what it could have been in a lot of ways, because the action scenes are definitely nothing to speak about. There's some really weird directing, and a lot of it is, again, too, just not shown, I found, at the greatest angles, or at the greatest, like, it's too zoomed in a lot of times, which is really a shame, because this is done by some of the guys who did work on the Quiet Place movies, and I found those were great in terms of its horror. But there's only really one scene in this entire movie that I found was kind of worth that talent, where they're in a cave, lightning strikes in the background, and you see the outline of a T-Rex like right by the cave, and that's really the only moments where you kind of get that sense of like horror and oh no. This is like, again, so just something to bring out the senses within you. But I feel like if they would have had more people, they could have made this a lot more entertaining within, akin to just the humans from the future with high-tech weapons against dinosaurs. Because yeah, even though their tech is supposed to be super high budget. It never really feels like it's it's just if they wanted to go goofy action movie, I felt like something almost like Starship Troopers, this would have been a lot more of an entertaining concept than the whole survival way that they went with it, because it's just very empty, very hollow, and very boring as a result from it. So really, with everything taken together, I'm going to have to give 65 a 4.5 out of 10. I can't really recommend it to anyone, especially if you're a dinosaur lover, because I don't find it really did justice to the dinosaurs. It was just there to be a just survival movie slash over the top, let's have dinosaurs die and get killed by high-tech weaponry sort of story that just didn't do anything for me. So if you've seen 65, please let me know what you thought about it in the comments down below. And of course, if you like this video, definitely give it a thumbs up, and you can check out everything I do on the channel through my playlist down below, and I'll link some up top here for convenience sake. Thank you for subscribing, and turn that little ring around so you know when I upload new videos. If you want to check out the description of this video and my channel bio, there's a link to the Media Mountain, which is my Discord where we talk about movies, video games, comic books, TV, pretty much everything that's awesome in this world. So you can definitely join that amazing community. I'll make it even more amazing than it is already. And awesome, guys.